game to speak of whatsoever. And Don, I think one of the major problems that the Kansas City Chiefs offensively face is that in 1986 they had an offense that was run by John Mackovic. In 1987 it was an offense run by Homer Smith. And in 1988 now another new offense to learn, and that's from George Sefcik. So along with injuries on the offensive line, a lack of running game for about the last 5 years, and 32 sacks allowed on their quarterbacks, Frank Gans has got a lot of holes in his dike.
Coach Gans in his second year as the head man, and there is the first-year head coach of the Raiders, Mike Shanahan. This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Coming down the field, and on the far side is Jim Saxon, a running back. A short kick by Barr, and Saxon, a rookie runner, takes it back out across the 28-yard line. There the Chiefs will go on offense, 1st and 10 with Bill Kenny at quarterback. Irv Eatman moves to left tackle today, the former UCLA All-American. Byron Ingram moves into left guard. It is 1st and 10 for the Chiefs, who are averaging under 13 points a game. Have scored only 102 points in the first 8 games of the season, the lowest total for any Chiefs team at the 8-game mark. Boye takes it right at the Raiders on a 1st down carry. He got about 3, knocked down by defensive end Mike Wise. There's the defensive front of the Raiders. Greg Townsend and Mike Wise the ends. Bill Pickel is the nose tackle. They'll switch off and go to a 4-man defensive front. The linebackers, when they go with 4, Lyndon King, Matt Millen, Jerry Robinson, the former UCLA All-American, having a very good year. And also Rod Martin. Ron Fellows and Mike Haynes are the corners. Russell Carter and Van McElroy are the safeties. 3rd down and about 6. 2nd down and 6 as the pitch back goes, and running with the ball, turning upfield, is Palmer, who takes a head-on shot from cornerback Mike Haynes. Palmer's only 5'9", 181 pounds. He was the runner-up in the Heisman Trophy balloting. Field, and James Saxon, the rookie from San Jose State, comes in as the Chiefs on 3rd down and almost 5 go to the shotgun.
Watch Palmer here, Don. He's a great back out of the backfield catching the ball.
Palmer swinging out to the near side. Kenny goes over the middle and hits an open man who drops the ball. Emil Harry wide open, and Kenny put it right on his hands. So a big early mistake. A drop ball eminently catchable by Emil Harry cost the Chiefs a chance for a 1st down.
Sometimes in a season nothing goes right, and you finally get time to throw the ball. You get a receiver open, you get Van McElroy a step short, and then Harry with that's a room service pass. He can't hang on to the football, so they got a punt.
Kelly Goodburn will punt it. Tim Brown is back for the Raiders. Harry knows this field well. He played here with Stanford against USC. Tim Brown loses the ball, falls on it, and the Raiders will start from their 23-yard line. 46-yard punt and a 1-yard return on the recovery of his own fumble by Tim Brown. There is Steve Berline, who teamed with Tim Brown at Notre Dame, ready to lead the Raider offense. Berline in his 2nd year has thrown for 6 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
This is a very unique offense. The Los Angeles Raiders today starting 3 Heisman Trophy winners. Jackson and Allen in the backfield. Tim Brown out of Notre Dame, the most recent Heisman winner. To my knowledge, that is the first time and the only time 3 Heismans have started on the same offense at the same time.
I'm quite certain it is, Trump, and they almost started 4 had they kept Jim Plunkett. There was speculation at the start of the season they might have 4 in their lineup, as the pitch back on 1st down goes to Marcus Allen. And his run to the right is good for a very short gain. As you look at the rest of the Raider offense, Bo Jackson starting with Marcus Allen. James Lofton, one of the great receivers in NFL history, 4th all-time in yardage in the NFL. Tight end is Andy Parker, replacing the still injured Todd Christensen. Offensive line at Los Angeles has been hurt also. They like the play of the right tackle, Rory Graves from Ohio State, a free agent. 2nd down and about 8. Back to the run, and the Chiefs shut it down for the most part. Then spinning off is Bo Jackson, and backing up. He gets ahead for about 3 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 5. Neil Smith, the #1 draft choice of the Chiefs, one of the high picks in the league this year, starting at left end. He's been bothered by nagging injuries and really hasn't delivered big time yet. Starting with him are a couple of free agents, Baldinger and Stensrud. Mike Stensrud, the longtime Houston Oiler. Snipes, Del Rio, Hackett, and Cofield, the backers. Hackett, the leading tackler again this season for Kansas City, in the bright light of the Kansas City Chiefs. Their superior defensive backfield. They're outstanding, every one. Third down, about 4. Throw and incomplete as they go to Marcus Allen, but there's a marker down.
Flag is going to be thrown on Greg Hill. He was the man in coverage with Marcus Allen out of the backfield. The official on the sideline, no hesitation whatsoever. This is a good receiver, and Bo Jackson have to catch that ball in Mike Shanahan's offense.
Wing set now. Marcus Allen starts in motion. The pitch back to Bo Jackson. Marcus Allen blocks, and Bo turns it to the outside, where he's caught by Albert Lewis, the left cornerback. A first down carry by Bo Jackson is good for a gain of close to 5 yards. See what he's averaging this year. His rookie season, he averaged 6.8 yards a rush.
Down with his foot speed. So many defenders misjudge where they should be to tackle Bo Jackson. You see all kinds of players all over the field trying to make arm tackles with Bo Jackson. I'm not sure they're afraid of him. They just misjudge his speed, and all of a sudden he's by him, and the only thing they can is try to arm tackle him.
And he hits like a cannon. Bo Jackson will run right over linebackers if they take a non-hit on, and he's going full speed. Now it is 2nd down and 6 for the LA Raiders. There's no score in the first quarter. Beuerlein with a deep drop has an open receiver near side and makes the connection. With the ball is James Lofton as they come back to the open side of the field. All the play swing went right, and Kevin Ross makes the tackle. It'll be very close to a first down.
And that's about as wide a split as I think you'll ever see a wide receiver have in the NFL. Wide receivers line up on either the outside of the numbers, the inside of the numbers, or on the hash marks. This time Beuerlein fakes the pitch, and you see 27 Porter coming. Look how far he's got to throw that ball. The coverage was very, very loose by Kevin Ross. It's an easy completion for, well, it's close enough to measure for a first down.
In the last 3 games, the Kansas City secondary has been unusually good.
Los Angeles Raiders. He learned the offense under Mike Shanahan. Schrader came 2 days after the regular season started, did not have the playbook put in front of him as Beuerlein did in training camp. They think this Schrader kid's going to be the quarterback of the future for the Raiders, but he kept making so many dumb mistakes, and there were mistakes that Jay Schrader admitted because I don't know fully the offense.
Complex offenses of the 80s, you need at least 1 training camp, and he had none at all. Came right in, and now on 2nd and very short yardage, Raiders go with extra tight ends. And the second back running hard is Marcus Allen, who breaks the crust and gets a first down as he crosses the 45-yard line. The Raiders keep their drive alive with 4 new downs now. A scoreless first quarter. They and Atlanta surprise leader over Philadelphia. No score here in the first quarter. Los Angeles Raiders with the ball. First down and 10 at their 46-yard line. Back to the run. Here's Bo Jackson putting the move on. He turns wide. Jackson somehow takes a defender who had an angle on him ahead for a 5-yard gain.
Kevin Porter finally makes the tackle. They have another replacement now for the Kansas City Chiefs. Gary Baldinger is playing nose tackle. He replaces Bill Moss. Now watch what happens. Good influence blocking by that young Los Angeles Raider offensive line. But the one good thing, Kevin Porter, the safety, is true to his read, and he stays there to make the tackle and still doesn't really get a good shot on Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, 230 pounds. There is Porter. They really like his play. He's out of Auburn, first-year player. Coming in to replace an injured Pro Bowl player, Lloyd Burris.
That's Bo Jackson, top of the screen now as a wide receiver.
Marcus Allen runs the ball on 2nd down and about 4, and Allen is down close to the 45-yard line of Kansas City.
They'd have been outscored by 1,000,000 points. This defense has played very, very respectable.
Terrific they've been. 4 losses by a total of 6 points. 3 one-point losses already this season for the Chiefs. Beuerlein takes a look and finds a man and makes the connection for a first down. As Tim Brown comes off the flank for a 14-yard gain. Brown, who won the Heisman Trophy at Notre Dame last season, having a sensational first year. He's averaging just under 17 yards every time he touches the ball.
Now, this is unusual. Beuerlein, not known as a rollout quarterback, but a half roll by Beuerlein gets him away from some pass rush. Tim Brown comes from the backside. It looked like zone coverage, and Dino Hackett finally makes the tackle. The Raiders, who used to be a get it down the field in a hurry offense, have now turned to the dump it off here, dump it off there, take a little bit at a time.
Was his own. He caught the ball deep on the linebackers, got behind their drops, and now on 1st and 10 the Raiders go back to the run, and running hard is Marcus Allen, playing with a cracked bone in his hand. Takes more than that to keep him out. Bill Lewis, the starting center for the Raiders, was shaken up earlier, but is expected back. Leonard Griffin in the defensive line of Kansas City, number 98, made that tackle.
Lewis dislocated a finger, the report is, from the sideline. That's a fixable problem. You just put some tape on it, tape 2 things together, he'll be back out there. Dislocated fingers, nothing.
He's got 9 other ones. Here's
Mike Shanahan on the sideline, putting in this new offense for the Raiders. One that's been hard to teach to some players. Others have accepted it quickly.
Shanahan, 36 years old, the youngest coach in the NFL. His team now with a 2nd down and 7 coming up. No score in the 1st quarter. Allen bounces to the outside, takes on tacklers and gets ahead for another Raider 1st down. Dino Hackett made the stop, but he made it about 10 yards downfield.
I don't know if there's a tougher player in the NFL than Marcus Allen. He is playing with a broken wrist. He has stitches in his hand from he got in a fight several weeks ago. He's got a bad back. He's got a bruised neck. Watch him carry this ball. You can see the cast on his left hand. One of the most durable backs I think this game has ever seen.
Sustained drive. This is the 11th play of this drive for the Los Angeles Raiders. 1st down again at the 22-yard line of Kansas City. No score in the 1st quarter on a perfect day in Southern California. Back for the Chiefs defense as Bo Jackson breaks it up the middle and takes it in. So Jackson with speed and power rips it up the middle, breaks 2 tackles, and goes 22 yards for the 1st score of the game.
He sits real deep. Marcus Allen, the lead blocker. Jackson shows all you need to have a running back. A certain amount of elusiveness, great power to break that 1st tackle. Watch this. Watch the move. There's the move. Now he breaks the tackle of Deron Cherry and then the acceleration. If you were listing 3 characteristics of a running back, you'd want elusiveness, power, and speed. Bo Jackson showed them all 3 in 22 yards.
22 yards into the end zone, and Chris Barr makes the extra point good. And so the Raiders go on the board first. A 22-yard touchdown run by Bo Jackson. It's 7-0 Los Angeles. Playing for the Raiders today. All were integral in that touchdown drive, a sustained drive. Marcus Allen ran well. Tim Brown caught a 14-yard pass to get a 1st down, and then Bo Jackson took it in 22 yards for a touchdown, and it's 7-0 Raiders. They kick off a 2nd time, and here's Paul Palmer, the best kick return man for Kansas City. Man who took one back 95 yards in the 1st meeting this year, only to have it nullified by penalty.
And once again, that touchdown run is an absolute thing of beauty from behind the defense. You see Bo Jackson sees that there's no place. He cuts back against the grain, then puts his shoulders down, then the acceleration. 22 yards and a touchdown. And if you can get Bo Jackson to stay healthy for the entire season, the Raiders can win.
The Chiefs.
Yeah, well, his numbers for Kansas City last year were, that is the Royals, they were not bad at all. I think he had 246, had over 20 home runs, close to 70 RBIs. I mean, yeah, they might be ambivalent, but I think Kansas City would love to have Bo Jackson as a running back and as an outfielder.
Best running back in Major League Baseball now becomes the best outfielder in the National Football League. As we look at the scoreboard, Cleveland beats the Cincinnati Bengals. How about Doug Flutie? The Chicago Bears going to squash him early, according to their tight end Emery Moorhead. So Flutie passed for 4 touchdowns as the Bears get routed. Buffalo with a shutout win over the Packers. 2nd down and 4 now for Kansas City. Raiders on the board first in the 1st quarter. 7-0 Los Angeles. Bill Kenny hands off Okoye, who played north of here at Azusa Pacific. Never touched a football until 1984. Comes from the nation of Nigeria,
where they don't play a lot of football.
Like none. Miami holding on to beat Tampa Bay. And the Falcons up on Philadelphia 27-24. And some of the late games, not a lot happening on the scoreboard yet.
Don, so far the Raiders have gone exclusively with the 4-man front. Even in this 3rd down and short now, they're using the 4-man front all over the field. They used to be a 34 team.
This is more like an 8-man front. They got all the backers up. Well, here's a swing pass, and Palmer breaks it and takes a first down carry out after the reception to the 45-yard line. A 12-yard gain.
City uses Paul Palmer any way they possibly can.
And he will be getting the ball a lot as the day wears on. Carlos Carson, the best receiver, goes in motion. Paul Palmer stuck in the backfield now in a foot race, and he is run down by the very quick backer, Jerry Robinson. An All-American at UCLA and a #1 draft choice of the Eagles, who's having an outstanding season for the Raiders, and you see how quick he is when he runs down Palmer.
This time Okoye misses the block. You see Greg Townsend jumps right inside of Okoye, and then it's a foot race. And Jerry Robinson knows he's got that sideline. Ends up being a loss of about a yard. That's what's been happening to Kansas City. A missed assignment, a holding call, a man in motion, and all of a sudden they're 2nd and 10.
That big drop on the first possession by Emil Harry that would have gone for at least a 20-yard gain. Instead, they had a punt. Kenny with a nice look and a throw up the middle. Stephon Page breaks into open field, and he's down to the 39-yard line of the Raiders. A 17-yard gain as Kenny with a quick hitter breaks the zone defense on a slant in, and that was a gain of 17 yards.
Mike Haynes had the coverage on Stephon Page, and Bill Kenny had plenty of time to throw the football as we've got a Raider player down. Looks like Ben McElroy, the weak safety. There have been injuries all over this AFC Western Division, and that is McElroy being attended to.
He's been a top player for the Raiders for 7 seasons, but is injury prone.
The Raiders, Matt Millen blitzing, man coverage. Stephon Page gets in inside Haynes, and it's a nice pickup. There's McElroy's injury. Can't really tell what it is. He comes off the sideline. Should be back the next play.
One of the best safeties in the league. Excellent open field tackler, and they make a lot of plays, the safeties on the Raiders. And off to Palmer, who breaks the crust, and here's the great football, and Robinson seems to have it now. A penalty marker comes in. The Raiders have the ball, but we'll see what the play is as a marker's down. Palmer with a stutter step. The Chiefs seem to think the penalty is going to go against Los Angeles.
And that flag was thrown just about the time the ball
offensive staying out, Trump,
popped loose.
Face mask it could have been.
Face mask it is. Again, the Chiefs trying to get the ball in the hands of Paul Palmer anytime they can from any formation. This is a nice call. It's a little draw play. The offensive line has a pretty good hole. Okoye gets stuffed by Robinson, but Palmer up through there. And yeah, it looks like Eddie Anderson, 33, was the guy with the hand on the face mask. So Kansas City will keep possession.
29 defense, first down.
Russell Carter is called. 29. He was also there along with Eddie Anderson for the tackle.
So instead of losing the ball, the Chiefs now have it advanced down to the 21-yard line as Eddie Anderson comes in to replace McElroy. Anderson, a 4th-year safety. There's Russell Carter out of SMU, who was one of the top players picked in the 1st round 5 years ago, and the Jets took him. Injury problems the whole time there. Traded to the Raiders. He's been whole here and playing well. Raiders lead the game 7-0, but the Chiefs are challenging. Saxon runs hard, and he is really struck at the 18-yard line. Coming across to drill him was Matt Millen, the longtime linebacker from Penn State.
Along with the Kansas City Chiefs' other problems of giving up sacks and everything else, once they get inside their opponent's 20-yard line, they have tremendous problems getting into the end zone. Here, the offensive line, kind of a half full. Irv Eatman, 75, is out on Mike Wise, 90. That's a big hit by Matt Millen. He brings Saxon down in a hurry.
Saxon out of San Jose State, a 210-pound back, and the Chiefs go back to the run and advance it on a 2nd down and 7 play inside the 15-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 3. Paul Palmer with a 4-yard gain. Palmer was the runner-up to Vinny Testaverde in the 1986 Heisman Trophy balloting. Frank Gans has to like the sustained offense he sees. That was George Sefcik, his offensive coordinator, walking in front of him with the headset on. On 3rd down in less than 3. The Chiefs set up in the shotgun.
Raiders expecting to pass all over the field. Pressure. The sack.
Bill Pickel coming right up the center. There has been pass blocking difficulties in the middle of the Chiefs offensive line. And that's the one place no quarterback can operate from if he's got heat right up the middle.
And you're absolutely right. And this is the 33rd sack now that this offensive line has given up in 8+ games. And Pickel with the big bull rush just absolutely runs over Tom Baugh, the center, and is right into the face of Bill Kenney. So now a perfect field goal kicker comes on the field.
Nick Lowry cut by 7 teams. Now he's about the best in the business, along with Morton Anderson of New Orleans. Lowry's 10 for 10 this year on field goals, 10 for 10 on extra points. This is a 39-yarder. In fact, he's trying to make his 13th consecutive field goal dating back to last season.
No. Wide.
When we lay on all the stats,
never should have said it.
Streak ends, and so a sustained drive by the Chiefs comes up empty. And the Raiders take over the ball, holding to their 7-0 lead. At the Los Angeles Coliseum, where the Raiders on a 22-yard touchdown run by Bo Jackson are still holding to that 7-0 lead after stopping a Kansas City drive, and then the field goal was missed by Lowry. A rare occurrence off the foot of that excellent place kicker, and now the Raiders go 1st and 10 as Bo Jackson looks for room and doesn't find any. Got to stay at home, those linebackers. You can't overcommit chasing him because he'll cut back and be out of there like he was in that touchdown run. The scoreboard now, the finals all in from the East. Biggest upset of the day certainly at New England, where the Patriots beat the Bears. Only the 2nd loss for Chicago. Phoenix sends the Cowboys off to a 2-7 start after beating Dallas by 6 today. Miami edging out Tampa Bay, and an upset at Philadelphia where the Falcons won. Marcus Allen, the lone setback. That's Bo Jackson on the wing to the right. Coming out of the backfield is Beuerlein with a lot of time, throws it downfield, and it's incomplete. He was looking at Marcus Allen, who couldn't hold on. The defense was right with him.
Don, he threw it to the one guy who was double covered. Tim Brown was wide open. That's rather surprising. This is a crossing pattern that the Raiders are using. Plenty of time here. And watch, you can see there's a man behind him and a man in front of Marcus Allen. And he's got the broken wrist, and he throws it to him. I think it's a poor choice by Steve Beuerlein.
Well, right now he probably does. Neil Smith, the defensive end, the 2nd player picked in the draft, the big Hornhusker from Nebraska, really coming off the ball well at left end, number 90 for the Chiefs. Against a double team block, he was almost to Beuerlein when he released it. Now from the shotgun, 3rd and 9. Here's a throw and a catch and a first down. Tim Brown is on the run. And Tim Brown crosses midfield and gets all the way down to the 45-yard line of Kansas City. 34-yard gain on the play as Deron Cherry, that all-pro safety number 20, finally ran him out of bounds.
Rod Russ, the new defensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, taking a chance here. Watch the blitz. It includes a defensive back, Kevin Porter, and that means man coverage. And Tim Brown is going to outrun anybody that the Kansas City Chiefs put back there in defensive coverage. I mean anybody.
Tim Brown with 14 receptions this year, averaging over 19 yards a catch. 3 have been for touchdowns. He's returned a kickoff for a touchdown. Marcus Allen and Steve Smith are the runners now. And there is a marker down as the Raiders go to the run right at the Raiders.
And was a blocking back for a Heisman Trophy winner at USC, Charles White.
He still blocks as well as any back in the game. Right now, Bo Jackson looks for some daylight. None is there. Just huge Leonard Griffin who knocks him down.
Speaking of similarities, Bo Jackson blocked for a young man named James Brooks at Auburn. And then both those guys became great running backs. There's the center, Bill Lewis. He's had his dislocated finger relocated or unlocated or inlocated, and he's back and playing.
Finger's still on his hand.
As long as it's there, he can go back in the game. When it's gone, he might be out for a quarter.
Beuerlein has been a very effective passer early in the game. He grew up nearby to here, played at Servite High School in Anaheim, California, was born in Hollywood, and started 4 years at Notre Dame, the only quarterback who's ever done that. Halloween approaching in the City of the Angels as the Raiders are holding to a 7-0 lead on a 22-yard touchdown run off a sustained first possession. Bo Jackson on the payoff end. Now as we start the second quarter, the Raiders have 4 wide receivers in the game. Long yardage coming up. Second down and 18 as Beuerlein with the deep drop lets her go long, and it won't be close to anyone but a Chief. And Deron Cherry has the interception, his 6th of the year. 5 times an All-Pro player.
Ball was intended for Willie Gault. There was a 2-deep zone with man coverage underneath. It was well defensed by Kansas City. Beuerlein going to the sideline should never have thrown this football. He's got plenty of time here, but you'll see the man coverage on the receiver Willie Gault. J.C. Pearson 24 right there, and then Deron Cherry just easy pickings for the first turnover of the ball game, and it goes for Kansas City.
Beuerlein's 5th interception. He's thrown for 6 touchdowns. So the Chiefs stop a Raider drive with Deron Cherry's big play, and now it's 1st and 10 for Kansas City at their 26-yard line. Pitch back to Okoye, the 250-pound fullback. And there's nothing there for Okoye as he's knocked down by an even bigger player, 270-pound Mike Wise.
First quarter stats, time of possession even. Raiders yards rushing. Kansas City got most of those yards on one drive that produced no points. Raiders got lots of yards on one drive that produced 7 points. You know, this Raider defense has changed slightly. They almost invite you to run at a spot. If you look at that defense closely, they'll offset the center, they'll offset the middle linebacker, and they almost invite you to run to the strong side. And all the linebackers are there to make the tackle.
Kenny looking deep. He's got a man on the sideline, but too much on the ball as the coverage was rather good also. Running the fly pattern out of the backfield was Paul Palmer. So it brings up 3rd down and 9.
In the spot that they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. Now the pass rush will really be in the face of Bill Kenny.
Raiders bring their pass coverage up tight to bump and run with the wideouts. Kenny setting in the shotgun, goes to the run and set, and Palmer breaks it up the middle and does not get there. He got about 8 yards, but he's too short of where he had to go for the first down. Eddie Anderson and Russell Carter, the 2 safeties, were on the stop for Los Angeles as the game clock shows 13:50 to play in the first half.
Spread formation, and this is a handoff in front. Now most linebackers are taught that once that running back gets in front of the quarterback, don't consider him someone who can carry the ball. That was handed forward. He comes up just short of the first down. Goodburn will have to come in and punt, although I think they are going to come in and measure.
Reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser most valuable player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. Chiefs having a hard time moving the ball in their last 5 games. The overall total point differential just 23 points, and yet over that 5-game span they have 4 losses and a tie.
Look at this. Bill Kenny going back on the field. Frank Gans is going for it. 4th and a yard. This is the team that has not produced a rushing touchdown now in 36 quarters. Averages 80 yards rushing per game. They put their offense back out at their own 35 to get a 4th and short.
Hey, good for the Chiefs. They've got to win a game, and you got to pull it out.
Kenny
the quarterback keep, and Kenny takes it himself, and he has the first down for Kansas City. So the center, who's had trouble pass blocking earlier, Tom Baugh, that time fired out nicely and knocked the man off the play that gave Kenny room to get the first down.
When in doubt, go to that power back. You see how deep Matt Millen, 55, sits in that defensive scheme. And as soon as the ball is snapped, Kenny's almost got it by just falling forward. He doesn't even have to take a step. Drive stays alive.
Chiefs on 4th and a yard. Go for it and get it. And now the ball's at their 37-yard line. 12:55 to play first half, and the Raiders lead the game 7-0. This is Carson in motion. Back to the run. They're running right at the LA Raiders. The Raiders have had trouble stopping the run this year, giving up over 4 yards to the rush on the average. Turnovers have
form. He's a receiver out of the backfield. He's almost a one-man offense.
Second down coming up, 2nd and 7. Back to the run the Chiefs go, and working hard to get out to the 44-yard line is Paul Palmer. Tremendous back at Temple in Philadelphia. There's some concern whether he was big enough to run from scrimmage. He's proven that he is.
Defensive line, most of them are young. Howie Long is out. Sean Jones traded to the Houston Oilers, so now Bill Pickel.
Kenny fires downfield, and that might be picked off. We'll see if it's ruled an interception. There's also a marker down on the play at the 43-yard line of the Raiders.
This is going to be a tough call. Stephon Page was the intended receiver
Against the Raiders front.
Ron Fellows was the man in coverage, 21. There is a lot more incidental contact now that it's allowed defensive backs on receivers.
Illegal contact. 21 defense. First down.
Ron Fellows, 21, the longtime Dallas Cowboy, played 6 years there, was required to trade in '87 by the Raiders.
Shotgun by Kansas City. Let's see if we can pick up the contact. It comes before we get to it there, but once again, that's hard to pick up there too. But the official threw the flag in immediately, no questions asked.
Yeah, it was a very definitive throw as he fired the yellow flag down, and the Chiefs drive stays alive. And here on first down is a throw and a catch as Kenny swings it out. His tight end comes out with the ball, Jonathan Hayes, and gets to about the 46-yard line of Los Angeles. Matt Millen was covering. 11:10 to play in the first half. The Raiders, who went down the field on their first possession and scored on a 22-yard run by Bo Jackson, continue to lead the game 7-0.
2nd and 5 from the 46.
On 2nd down and 5, the Chiefs set up. They need big downfield plays, what their offense has been lacking. They get to go to Carson, best wide receiver. To the run they go, and Okoye fires ahead and gets a first down.
Christian Okoye, the ball there.
Okoye drives down to the 40-yard line of the Raiders.
A straight lead play right up through the middle.
So the Chiefs moving the ball well, looking to stay away from the turnovers that have cost them so many points this year, or chances at points. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line of the Raiders. Saxon, the rookie runner, with a big league move. He takes it down to the 27-yard line. The spin move inside by James Saxon, good for 14 yards. And the Chiefs have another first down.
Now, I don't know what's happened to this offensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs. Much maligned, but to this point, these guys are finishing their blocks. And one of the big problems the Kansas City offensive line has had is not finishing their block. That is, they make contact, they don't sustain contact. Coaches coach you to block a yard past the man as opposed to the man.
First down, Palmer with trap blocking in front of him. And Palmer gets the hole he needs and carefully protects the ball with both arms. Malcolm Taylor, 96, tackled him. But the Chiefs drop again, run well as they get almost 6 on the carry.
Chiefs may be a performance to this point.
Palmer with 8 carries, 37 yards. Okoye on the sideline for the moment as they go back to Paul Palmer, weaving into the Raider defense. He is very close to another first down, and he has one. In the first meeting between these two teams, Kansas City had more total offense than the Raiders by a large margin, 334 to 234.
Nice trap up the middle. Good job by the offensive line to find the right guy and get a shoulder on him. And then Paul Palmer is so small, he almost hides behind those offensive linemen. Another big pickup.
Addix and Lutz-Trump blocking well on the right side. Irv Eatman and Ingram doing the same on the left side. Here is a handoff now as a struggle for yardage by James Saxon, the first-year runner from San Jose State. And his first down carry takes the ball close to the 11-yard line of the Raiders, where Matt Millen made the knockdown.
Kansas City's doing nothing fancy here. There's Okoye on the sideline with the jam thumb. I'm presuming the one he just got taped at 253 pounds. To get him in here. This is where Kansas City has had all their problems. Nice long sustained drive here too. Started at their own 26. This is now the 13th play coming up.
2nd down and 7. Raiders lead the game in the second quarter, 7-0.
We got an audible here.
And the handoff goes to Palmer, and he gets down inside the 10 and close to the 8-yard line. And now a critical down comes up for the Chiefs. 3rd and about 2.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but you could see Bill Kinney was looking for something in the defensive coverage. And when he gets Saxon with a good lead block, and Palmer once again pops up through there. Nice block by the tight end, Jonathan Hayes. That's a nice 4 or 5 yard pickup. Bill Pickel makes the tackle for the Raiders. Now just hang on to the ball. Don't give it up.
Big down. 3rd down and a long 2, almost 3 for the Chiefs as Kenny looks over. Changing the play. Now he doesn't see anything he likes in the defense to coincide with what he called. And wisely, he takes a timeout so as not to blow a down close opportunity.
One of the things that have been very characteristic of the Kansas City offense to this point. They get down here in the red zone, in the scoring zone, and make that big blunder.
The Raider crowd picks up the count now, the decibel count, as the Chiefs have 3rd down and a long 2. Down close. They go over the middle, and they get the first down inside the 5-yard line. Christian Okoye, the 253-pound fullback, with 4.5 speed or better, just powers his way behind Ingram and Eatman.
You see Matt Millen dives at his legs, 55. He gets over the top. Lyndon King finally makes the tackle. Down to this point in the game, it's pretty obvious what Kansas City wants to do. That's their 20th rush in 25 plays. Run the ball. Haven't scored a rushing touchdown now in 36 quarters, dating back to last year.
Looking to tie the game. Raiders lead at 7-0. Kansas City with 1st and goal. Here's Palmer. Blockers in front. He turns to the outside. He's going in, and Paul Palmer gets the touchdown for Kansas City. And the Chiefs now a Lowry extra point away from tying this game with 5:41 to play in the first half.
That's historic in Kansas City football. A rushing touchdown. 36 quarters it took him to get that ball in the end zone, running with it. This is a nice pull by Attic, 61. You'll see him out in front. He gets a couple of blocks. This drive down 9 minutes and 13 seconds.
I'll tell you, Trump, you got to compliment the Chiefs. They've had nothing but bitter disappointment all year. 3 one-point losses, 1 6-1 coming in, and yet they haven't lost their spirit as they take it right at the Raiders. And now Lowry's out there. He's 10 for 10 on extra points this season, 11 for 11. And this game is tied at 7-all with 5:41 to play. And a touchdown run by Paul Palmer. We'll be back with the Chiefs kickoff after this. 74-yard touchdown drive with Paul Palmer going in from inside the 5-yard line on a sweep right. Game is tied 7-all. Now Tim Brown runs it back for the Raiders. A short kick is run out to the 33-yard line where Los Angeles goes on offense, 1st and 10. Angelo Snipes, 52, is down to make the play on special teams for the Chiefs.
Breaks down 13 rushes and 2 passes, and that last run of 3 yards historic. Going back to the Seattle game of 1987, that was the last game of the year. 36 quarters without a rushing touchdown.
Well, that streak has ended, and the game is tied 7-all, and now the Raiders try to come back as here's a pitch back, almost a fumble. Jackson holds on, turns on the burners, and gets around the corner. Bo Jackson's out to the 40-yard line for a gain of over 7 yards on the play. Leonard Griffin, a defensive end, got him out of bounds. Bo Jackson, 6'1", 230, had been clocked in the 40 in under 4.2 seconds.
I'll take your word for it. He takes his eye off this ball. Doesn't really get it cleanly from Beuerlein, but once again that foot speed, the one thing you can't coach is foot speed. 7 carries now, 44 yards. Now watch him take his eye off the ball. See there? It almost got by him, but he hangs on and again runs away from tacklers.
2nd down, less than 3. End off goes to Marcus Allen, who changes directions. That good switch move and a shift of gears and speed takes him ahead for a Raider first down. He's out to the 44-yard line. Vikings up on the 49ers in the 2nd quarter. Seattle still holding to the field goal lead over the Chargers. Giants now the field goal trailing Detroit by 4.
One thing the Raiders obviously have to do for the remainder of the season is keep Bo Jackson healthy as much as they possibly can. And Don, I think he's got to change mindsets from injuries you get in baseball to injuries you get in football. You know, a slightly pulled hamstring in football, you play, just like the center has a dislocated finger. Tape it up and play.
Well, a badly pulled hamstring kept him out over 3 weeks for the Royals this year. Same hamstring is bothering him now as the Raiders go back to the run. Back to Marcus Allen, who's ahead on a first down carry close to midfield. He got about 4. Deron Cherry, the all-pro safety who made the interception of Berline earlier, made the knock out of bounds play.
One thing about this Kansas City defense is that holding them to 7 points to this point, very good. Now watch Bo Jackson, 34. He gets kind of a decent block, not a great block. Makes contact with Angelo Snipes, and then Marcus Allen putting that shoulder down. Deron Cherry with the tackle.
Bo set to go in the backfield. Baseball, football, will he play basketball? He can do it all. And here goes Bo Jackson. They'll cross midfield on second down and about 5. He got ahead for 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
Now see what the Kansas City defense is doing is they're not really penetrating the line of scrimmage. They're staying along the line of scrimmage, trying not to give Bo Jackson a place to cut back. He's an excellent cutback runner, and if you give him no spot, then he's generally going to go where the play is originally designated. Stringing that play out, you get the sideline to help you, and so far we've heard an awful lot of the safeties and corners making those tackles on Bo Jackson. So Rod Rust has got a good idea here defensively.
Rust, the defensive coordinator with the Chiefs after a stint in New England, back with Kansas City. 3rd down and 2 now for the Raiders. Berline from the shotgun looks at an out pattern. He's got to run now as Smith tries to run him down, and Berline, who has surprisingly good speed, takes it ahead for a first down. Tim Brown threw a hellacious block. He just slammed the tackler out of the way, and Berline was free for a 12-yard gain, and now they start up after the play.
Now this looks a little more like Raider and Kansas City football.
What a block by Brown, who blindsided a guy coming over that was trying to do the same to Berline. Looked like Neil Smith is the man he popped.
The net result was, though, Berline a good choice. There was great coverage down the field from the shotgun. You see he's looking left, and then there's pressure really gets to him by Mike Stensrud. You'll see the block at the top of the screen. Neil Smith, that's on 52 Cofield. There's 52 Angelo Snipes that Tim Brown gets. Anyway, first down, no harm done, no blood, nobody ejected. Drive continues.
Berline throwing the ball well, has completed 3 of 5 now. 50 yards. Both teams running the ball. Fast-paced game, just 3:41 to go in the first half. Raiders and the Chiefs are tied at 7. Berline play faking now, throws on the run, and hits the ball to Tim Brown. With a move, he's inside the 20, and Tim Brown is not done until he gets to the 15-yard line. A 20-yard gain on the play. So Berline to Brown, as they did so many times at Notre Dame, connect again today.
Great move. He breaks the tackle of Dino Hackett and Albert Lewis. He's not the primary receiver, but when Berline suddenly is flushed, now watch this move. He makes the first guy miss, Albert Lewis, and Dino Hackett miss. And then finally Angelo Snipes gets him out of bounds. Big first down pickup for the Raiders as Brown is on the sideline.
He's been playing with a slight knee sprain, Tim Brown, and the Raiders want a timeout as they get down close.
Steve Berline, it appeared that Bo Jackson was lined up in the wrong spot. He turned around to Bo and just kind of gave him that dejected timeout. You're in the wrong spot. Come on, Bo.
And there's Albert Lewis ready to go back to work out of Grambling College. A Pro Bowl player last January, as was the free safety of the Chiefs, Deron Cherry. In fact, Cherry's been there 5 straight years to the Pro Bowl. Came to pro football as a free agent punter.
That's where he got his first call. It's amazing, too, on a 1-6-1 team. Deron Cherry, I think, is a candidate for the Pro Bowl again this year.
Deron Cherry, number 20, recently signed a new contract, a $600,000 signing bonus, $850,000 a year. I think Raymond Claiborne of the Patriots, the only guy that gets more.
Not bad for a free agent punter. I just don't get the feeling I'm watching the Raiders in Kansas City here. You know, they don't normally play this way. They haven't in years past.
We had one fight. Usually have a few of those. Straight ahead carry by Marcus Allen on a first down run. He gets to the 12-yard line.
Well, my point is, if you think of Kansas City, Stephon Page with his 306 yards receiving a couple of years ago, they threw it down the field. And for the Raiders, they normally throw it down the field. But look what the Heismans have done today. That's pretty much it for the Los Angeles Raiders, isn't it?
Well, you carry that Heisman around. That thing weighs about 60 pounds.
Yeah, some people carry it. They kind of drag it, you know, and it really slows those Heisman Trophy winners down.
Jackson running hard, and he got to the 8-yard line in the second down and 6 play. Leading candidate for the Heisman right now is Troy Aikman, the quarterback of UCLA, but certainly coming on strong is a cowboy from Stillwater, Oklahoma, Barry Sanders, the great running back for Oklahoma State, who had over 300 yards rushing yesterday.
You want a late entrant? How about Major Harris, the quarterback of West Virginia?
Sensational.
It was pretty much conceded to Troy Aikman a couple of weeks ago, and then the loss yesterday to Washington State. All of a sudden, wait a minute.
Heisman's an award that's often won early, though. Tim Brown, with all those returns on national television, won it last year. Year before, Testaverde quarterbacked the perfect game in September as Miami beat Oklahoma. He was the winner that year, and Bo Jackson, who scored once today, gets down to the 2-yard line. Kevin Porter made the stop, but the Raiders have a first and goal with 2 minutes to play in the first half. So the Raiders come a knocking on the Chiefs goal line again. On the Los Angeles Raiders sideline, it's a Kansas City Royal. George Brett, apparently his allegiance today trumped stronger to his teammate Bo Jackson from the Royals.
Well, he lives out here in the Southern California area, and that ball he had in his hand, he's only seen that. He doesn't know what that ball does. He's used to the little white one. But obviously he's a Raider fan and rooting for Bo Jackson. I don't think he could hit it that thing as far as he could hit the other ones, but now big down here for the Raiders. First and goal.
7-7 game. First down and goal for the Raiders as they go from the power set. First back Marcus Allen. He's close, but he's not in.
That was close to a fumble. Beuerlein almost did not get that ball to Marcus Allen. Stensrud and Leonard Griffin make the tackle, and it looks like Beuerlein does a spin, and when he spins around, he just barely gets that ball to Marcus Allen. Allen does a great job of hanging on to it. Let's see if we can pick it up here. He spins. See, he hits his arm. He hits his arm when he puts the ball in there. That was close to being a turnover. Allen does a great job to hang on. That's why he didn't gain the yards. Smart enough to say the most important thing here is maintain possession.
So the Raiders try again. Same power set. Second down. Allen over the top. He's in with 1:23 to play in the first half. And the Raiders break the tie and go in front 13-7.
Interesting. Previous play, Marcus Allen was up front, Bo Jackson in back. And then they put Bo Jackson in front, Marcus Allen in back. No, I take it back. It wasn't Bo Jackson. It was Steve Strahan that was up front. Nice lead block. This is just not Raider football. Normally they get in big bunches. That was a very long multi-play drive.
See that he just passed Fred Biletnikoff as the all-time Raider touchdown producer. Biletnikoff new to the NFL Hall of Fame. Marcus Allen will surely be there one day. And the extra point by Barr is up and good, and that makes it a 14-7 game. The Raiders have the kickoff coming up.
15 plays. They had 13 rushes and 2 passes. 4 minutes and 18 seconds, 67 yards. This is not like the Denver offense that Mike Shanahan ran. It was a little more wide open.
Well, Elway will do that also. Beuerlein not yet on Elway, but Beuerlein has been a very effective quarterback today. And now Coach Gans and his Chiefs look to get back and see if they can get some points up. They did miss a field goal, you remember, a 39-yarder by Lowry that broke his streak. Downfield it goes, and here comes Paul Palmer from the 9. 20, breaks it to the outside. Ron Fellows has the angle and takes him down at about the 30-yard line. So there the Chiefs will go first and 10 with 75 seconds to play in the first half. 50 yards, had the big drop early in the game by Harry.
Raiders have 7 defensive backs in the ball game, Don. 7.
Right to the shotgun. The Chiefs go, and they go to the run. And Paul Palmer loses his footing, but nobody on him when he was down, so he tries again and does well to get back to the line of scrimmage. And now the game clock is running, 1:06, and here it is stopped with 1:06 to play in the first half. Raiders called a timeout.
They got the 7 defensive backs on the Raiders side of the ball. There's no middle linebacker. They just have 4 defensive linemen, so they tried to run a trap up the middle, and Paul Palmer slips. See if you can look at this defense.
8 games to play, only 2.5 back in the AFC West. NFL Live at halftime with Bob Costas, Ahmad Rashad, Gail Gardner, and Frank DeFord. Right now on the scramble is Bill Kenny of the Kansas City Chiefs. Throwing on the run. He's to the wrong side of Stephon Page at the 44-yard line. That stops the clock with 59 seconds to go in the half.
Greg Townsend with pressure on Bill Kenny. That's a designed half roll. The plus is you get away from the pass rush. The minus is you only got half the field to work with. This ball thrown way behind Stephon Page. He can't make the catch, and even if he does, he's going out of bounds. Now they got to get a pass pattern to somebody heading upfield.
Raiders needing a victory badly too. They beat San Diego in their opener and have lost 5 of 7, holding to a 14-7 lead here today. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. Chiefs down by 7 in the shotgun. 3rd and 10. Kenny goes downfield, makes the connection to Palmer, but the defense hems him in for a short gain. That brings up 4th down with 50 seconds to go, and the Raiders, Trump, could be in good position for a field goal try before the half ends. It's been a running game. They've been powering the ball at each other, and very effectively.
Wait a minute, I said a minute and 18 seconds. How about an hour and 18 minutes? I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm okay.
Here's Goodburn taking the snap. Steps into the ball. End over end punt downfield. Could be tough for Brown to handle. He won't touch it, as it takes a left turn at the 27-yard line, and that's where it's down, and the Raiders will go with 38 seconds to play. 35-yard punt. So Berline leads the Raider offense back out.
Raider ball, 1st and 10.
Got an awful lot of speed on this football team. Tim Brown, James Lofton, Fernandez, 86. Last week had over 150 yards receiving. Obviously Kansas City's going to be sitting deep, but do you give it a shot deep, leading 14-7? Now that's a little more in keeping with Raider football. Throwing that thing up down the field.
Raiders go to an open formation too. They're ready to throw it down the field. Berline in the shotgun. Tremendous speed to either side. You get a great 400-meter relay team out of this team. Here's a throw down to James Lofton, who's out of bounds at the 44-yard line. And still 32 seconds on the clock after that 14-yard gain.
J.C. Pearson, the man in coverage. And the Chiefs with the prevent defense have got 6 defensive backs in the ball game. Good pass protection. Berline, good mechanics to throw the ball. That's a nice one. But the feeling now of the Kansas City defense is you want no reception deeper than your deepest defensive back. You hope the clock eats them up. The Raiders only have 1 timeout left.
Been 1 interception today, that by Duron Cherry, the 12th interception by the Chiefs this season. More than they had all of last year. Here's a throw and a catch again to Lofton. As this superb player catches a ball thrown to the wrong side. A gain of 13 yards on the play, and still 27 seconds left in the half.
That's 27 yards and 2 completions. And let me correct myself. The Raiders have no timeouts left. Same pattern, the other side of the field.
That was a terrific catch. Lofton has made many now. His 11th year from Stanford, where he was also a track All-American.
Ball's got some zip on it too. You know that? Berline's got a strong arm. Very strong arm. Not as strong as Jay Schrader.
No, not as strong. He's not as fast as Schrader, but he can do both things well. And he believes he's going to be a top player in the league, and that's probably the #1 ingredient to success at his position. Here's a throw downfield, a bit high as he goes back to Lofton, but there's a penalty marker down. Barr, the Raider field goal kicker, has not had a good year. He is 1 of 6 so far outside the 40. He's missed more than he's made. He's made 5 and missed 6 field goals this season.
We got 24 in the picture because he was the man in coverage. There's Chris Barr. Been around this game for a long time. Now what the officials are discussing is, was the ball catchable? If the ball is not catchable, the flag is picked up.
J.C. Pearson, number 24, the man who appears to have been called for the foul.
Flag will be picked up. The pass was uncatchable.
Well ruled by Johnny Greer, the referee. Raider fans understandably don't like it. Coach Shanahan.
I never believed that. Only those people who never played the game believe that.
22 seconds to go in the half as Beuerlein is set at his 48-yard line, letting it go deep. He's got 4 men running fly patterns. Tim Brown going for the ball, and Brown loses it at the goal line.
He had it too.
Brown had it and lost it. Albert Lewis was right with him as a perfect throw by Beuerlein, but the coverage right there, and Brown could not hold on.
Tim Brown showed a great deal of presence in running this pattern. At about the 6 or 7 yard line, he slowed down and hoped the guy would run into him. Watch. See there, he slows down a little bit, and that gives him just a little momentum to get away from it, and he almost makes the catch. That is a seasoned veteran move that takes years to learn, that he's got on in a hurry.
That was fine coverage by Albert Lewis, who might have given him a little nudge.
Well, I think that was a nudge that was precipitated because Brown realized the situation and slowed down a little bit.
Beuerlein with a problem now on the run.
Throw it.
And they throw him down out of bounds with 6 seconds to play. The Chiefs have the Raiders well out of field goal range right now. Good at the turn, but only a game back in the AFC West out of first.
Look at the choices they have here now, the Raiders. You got Lofton and Brown on one side, and you got Fernandez and Willie Gault on the other side. I mean, you got some choices here.
Here's where you want more than one football from.
Yes, sir.
Long ball into the corner of the end zone, and it's incomplete at the goal line. The intended Raider receiver was yelling he was foul, which would mean to get another play, but official right there, Mervin Fernandez, said was not fouled, and so the half ends. The Raiders holding to a 14-7 lead as Coach Shanahan drops to the locker room, and the Chiefs for the play because of the success of the running game. Tim Brown on the left, ready to return the kickoff. He had an outstanding first half. Could have had a touchdown though. Ball off his hands in the end zone, but the coverage was very good also. This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Von Adams is back with Tim Brown. Lowry hits a line drive that Brown will take on the one hop. No, he lets it go into the end zone. He better cover it. A live ball as the Chiefs come down looking for an easy touchdown. Seen that happen.
Yes, Raiders start this second half now, and they ended the first half with those desperation throws in the end zone, but in running the ball they've been able to, one, maintain control of the clock. They have not really put the passing offense in real jeopardy. They've come up with a great many turnovers with Jay Schrader at quarterback, and the manner in which they've been able to run with Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson looks like a formula for success in this second half.
Beuerlein has not thrown often. He's been effective. 11 passes, 6 completions, 97 yards, 1 interception. He's not been sacked. Raider offensive line has tightened up considerably there. Gave up a lot of sacks early in the season. Bo Jackson runs hard and breaks tackles. And Jackson on a first down carry from the 20 gets 5 tough yards out to the 25-yard line where Deron Cherry knocked him down. Heisman Trophy yards have been the big thrust in the Raider offense today. The 3 Heisman Trophy winners accounting for 163 yards. As to the Raider offense for 45.
To repeat, we believe this is the first time that 3 Heisman Trophy winners have started a football game together in the history of the NFL. Now, these 3 have played together, Brown, Jackson, and Allen, but never started.
Hand off. Bo takes it, and he gets to about the 27. Penalty markers down. I tell you, I've gotten to know Jackson quite well, Trump. I'm one of the heads of the Heisman Trophy committee, and he comes back whenever he can. And this is a kid that you really want him on your football team. He's a first-class individual. grew up in such poverty in Alabama that he and his brothers and sisters, he said, used to sleep like puppies, huddled together because there was no heat in the winter. Bo Jackson's income now is upwards of $2.5 million a year.
Illegal shift, offense, back moving while the lineman is getting set. Still second down.
More power to him.
$2.5 million would buy you a fair amount of lumber to fit in any fireplace you want to find. The thing about Bo Jackson is that without training camps, he's able to come in here, and last year was a very good contributor late in the season for the Raiders, and this year he does it again.
That's the unbelievable thing. He came right in, was superior right away. That game he had against the Seattle Seahawks. Over 200 yards rushing. A swing pass is taken by Tim Brown, and the marker's down also as Brown is cut down at the 20-yard line. Angelo Snipes, an outside linebacker, was on him quickly. Came on a 2nd down and 10 play.
Face mask on the Chiefs. Now Brown, when you get him out in the flat with his superior foot speed, there's nobody out here to help him. He's out there all by himself, and you see they're trying to trick the defense. 52 Angelo Snipes is out there, and Albert Lewis, and there's that right hand on the face mask. They're trying to get Tim Brown out there to break one tackle, you hope. At that time it looked like Kansas City in zone. They had guy outside, guy inside. Didn't work basically.
Okay, the most unbelievable story about Bo Jackson. The Yankees drafted him to play baseball. Went down there with a check for $150,000 to sign him and couldn't find him.
Wasn't interested.
Was not interested. Off to Auburn, where he was great for the War Eagles. On a 2nd and 5 play, they get the ball out to the 30-yard line. It looks like they have enough for a first down as Kevin Porter made the stop on Marcus Allen.
There's a replacement player now for Kansas City who's going to be having an awful lot of business the rest of this season is Gary Baldinger, 91. Bill Moss out with that knee surgery. And because of the number of moves you're allowed in the NFL, just 5 to activate players from your injured reserve list to the active list, Bill Moss was out for the year. So Gary Baldinger, one of 3 brothers playing in the league, is going to be that nose tackle for the remainder of this season if he stays healthy.
Burline, quick drop, looks long, fires a flat pass. It goes out to Lofton, who takes the ball at the 47-yard line. A first down and 10 throw is good for 19 yards, and a Raider first down, and that's strong right arm you were alluding to, Trump. There's certainly an evidence there as he threw a fastball right where it had to be.
Great fundamentals too. Sets up, steps, throws over, good follow through, got nice rotation on the football. Lofton between Kevin Porter and Albert Lewis with Snipes back there finding the dead spot in the zone. That's a nice completion.
Burline, a very good all-around athlete. He was one of the top backcourt players in Southern California in high school basketball, a 2-time captain of his team, which is one of the standout teams. Handoff goes now to Marcus Allen on first down, and he's down to the 48-yard line.
Here's the moves we're talking about. To get players from the injured reserve list, you are allowed free, and every team turn him down, and then they can re-sign him, which is not going to happen. So Moss is out for the year.
One of the best players in the NFL, Bill Moss, the nose tackle for the Chiefs. Arthroscopic surgery went well last week. But as you point out, Trump, he can't come back this year. And now a free ball on the field. It looks like a Chief has it. And it is a live ball and a fumble recovery by Kansas City. So the Raider drive is stopped, and we'll watch that again.
It looked like Deron Cherry came up with the football, and that ball was loose before Bo Jackson hit the ground. I don't think there's any question about that. We'll have a chance to look at it on the sweep. Looks like the ball is stripped away from him there, and the ball is loose. Yes. Play once again. Kevin Porter is the guy who makes the hit. There's no question the ball is loose. 27. Helmet right on the ball. Kansas City recovers it. Angelo Snipes. And Kansas City in business.
Long drive by the Raiders is stopped, and now the Chiefs go on offense for the first time in the second half, trailing 14-7. And he at quarterback. Pitch back. Okoye takes it right at the Raiders, and they take it right to him. A driving tackle by Bill Pickel, number 71. And there's only a gain of about a yard on the play.
Bill McCallum, the stop.
Our producer today in the third quarter. Kansas City trailing the Raiders 14-7. That was the score at halftime.
Again, now Kansas City in that tough down, 2nd and 10.
Bill Kenny came into this season as one of the top 20 passers in NFL history, believe it or not. This free agent from Northern Colorado. Carlos Carson, the intended receiver. There's a marker down, and the Raiders are signaling a hold. We'll see if the official concurs. And he does.
Ron Fellows was the man in coverage. It was just a delay pattern underneath that the Raiders diagnosed very well.
60 offense. It's declined. Third down.
That's Byron Ingram. Just activated. When he was playing at the beginning of the season, he was a right guard. Now he's a left guard. Jerry Robinson inside. Ron Fellows outside on Stephon Page. Ball thrown a little bit behind him, and it's on the ground.
Tom Baugh, the center for the Chiefs. Ingram and Mark Addix, the guards. Eatman and Lutz are the tackles. Jonathan Hayes at tight end. On 3rd down and 9. 4 wide receivers in the game. Big rush. Kenny lets it go. And going for the ball is Stephon Page, who did make the catch, but well short of the first down. Very well done by Page. He was running an out pattern, but he's down 5 yards short of where he had to be.
I don't understand why Bill Kenny would make that choice. It's 3rd down and over 10, and he throws the ball 7 yards deep. I mean, there's no way in the world he's going to make the first down there. Ron Fellows had excellent coverage. You got to try to make those first down passes down through the middle. At least give the guy a chance.
So Beuerlein will be set to work again with the Raider offense. Raiders have now allowed only 10 sacks in the last 6 games after giving up 15 sacks in the first 3 games. Goodburn gets it away. It wasn't easy. A big rush was put on by Fellows, and now Tim Brown with the return. Breaks one tackle and gets to the 19-yard line. 43-yard punt, a 6-yard return. And the Raiders, leading 14-7, are set to go back on offense. 14-7 Raiders. That's how it stood at the half. We have 9 minutes and 4 seconds to play in the third quarter. Raiders came in as the 3rd highest scoring team in the American Conference. The Chiefs are at the bottom of the conference, averaging under 13 points a game. Only 102 points total in their first 8 games. Beuerlein, quick out, and connection is Lofton, who loses the ball at the 31-yard line. Kevin Ross was covering on the play.
That's a long throw for a quarterback to make. Near side hash to the far sideline. Beuerlein gets it there. I think Lofton he's looking back in the sun, it looks like. Loses the ball. Beuerlein now 7 of 13, 116 yards and an interception.
Lofton, one of the 9 first-round draft choices on the Raiders roster, but only 2, wasn't it?
3 are the Raiders, 6 are belong to other teams.
Throwing a catch up the middle, not much there. Marcus Allen does well, protects the ball, and on 2nd and 10 he got ahead for a gain of 4 yards. Angelo Snipes and Cofield, the outside linebackers, combined on the stop.
Another interesting thing about this Raider offense now, as you watch from behind the offense, this is the spot generally where you find Todd Christensen catching the ball. Tim Brown catches it from the outside receiver spot. Todd Christensen in several seasons has caught 80+ passes, and they don't throw to the tight end. Here's Todd Christensen on the sideline. He has a real bad calf problem and knee problem. He worked out a little bit this week, but still not ready to play yet.
3rd down and 5 for Beuerlein, and the Raiders out pattern, too much on it. Looking out at the 37-yard line to Tim Brown, so the Raiders will have to punt the ball, and the Chiefs should get it in good field position. I'm getting a big rush on and hurrying the throws. Long punt downfield. Kitrick Taylor runs it back for the Chiefs, and he's out to the 36-yard line. That was the first punt of the game for the Los Angeles Raiders. 53-yarder and a 13-yard return, and the Chiefs are set to go on up. 7 minutes and 58 seconds to play in the third quarter at the Los Angeles Coliseum. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. Kansas City Chiefs, as you see, down by 7 with the ball at their 35-yard line. Bill Kenny, a 6'4", 218-pounder in his 10th year in the NFL. A long shot to make it. Free agent has had some big years. Okoye runs the ball, gets it out for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. As we check the scoreboard, San Francisco now ahead of the Vikings 10-7 at Candlestick Park. Seattle holding to the 10-0 lead over San Diego in the third quarter. The Giants have rallied from behind to take a lead over Detroit, the team they beat 2 weeks ago, 30-10. Second down and 6 comes up for Kenny and the Chiefs. Herman Hurd breaks it almost a long way as he gets a quick hitter call straight up the middle, and he's ahead for a Kansas City first down. And that line front continues to block very well.
When to this point in the season they had not. Yes, today they've turned it around. Russell Carter and Eddie Anderson make a saving tackle. This is going to be a double and rub. The center and the right guard addicts double on the nose tackle, and Matt Millen 55. Hurd follows it right up through there for a first down pickup for Kansas City.
Herman Hurd averaging 4.3 yards a rush. A 5'10", 190-pound back gets another call, and Herman Hurd from Southern Colorado takes it down to the midfield line. And Mark Kelso, another on a fumble recovery by Leon Seals. They beat Green Bay 28-0 to go to 8-1. Second down and 9, and the play is whistled dead.
Number 1.
Raiders take a last-second timeout there. There were 3 seconds left on the clock for Kansas City, and they take a timeout. Obviously, they had the wrong defensive personnel in there.
So Coach Shanahan has to counsel his team. He's not to the Kansas City Chiefs. He was a main factor, his coaching of special teams in '86 when the Chiefs went to the playoffs as a wild card team for the first time since 1971 with virtually no offense. But their special teams some days would outscore the regular offense.
Mike Shanahan, the youngest head coach in the NFL. Big task. One, you got to get along with Al Davis here, and 2, you got to put in a whole new offense. Not easy for anybody.
Well, they reverted back to some of the basic Raider offense, as they're having some problem all getting on the same page, as Shanahan brought in primarily the Denver system. He was the offensive coordinator there the last 2 years as Christian Okoye runs the ball to the 45-yard line of the Raiders, where Eddie Anderson made the knockdown with 5:45 to play. Third quarter, 14-7 Raiders. The headliners, Herman, for a win over Cincinnati today. Dallas having trouble at the end of the game. Cowboys fell to 2-7 with the loss to Phoenix. Third down, a long 4. Ranged up, incomplete, and so the Raider defense holds on third down.
That was Greg Townsend. He got outside the right tackle, David Lutz. Townsend, because of injuries, and he's not a guy at less than 250 pounds who can play a whole defensive game. He's a pass rush specialist, but the Raiders are forced to play him the entire game.
Goodburn hits a long one that Tim Brown is going to fake the fair catch, lets it hop. It takes a chief bounce inside the 5-yard line and rolls out of bounds at the 6. So Kelly Goodburn with the thing of beauty from a punter standpoint, a 40-yard punt inside the 7-yard line. No return.
Interesting point for the Raiders. 13 of Berline's 16 completions have been at Brown and Lofton to this point.
Marcus Allen breaks it into open field, but there's a penalty marker found as Marcus Allen gets it out to the 42-yard line. A holding call against the Raiders, and apparently that's what sprung Marcus Allen. A 36-yard run is negated by the flag. Kevin
Ross finally makes the tackle. A quick trap up the middle. Mike Shanahan says,
holding, 60 offense, still first down.
That's Rory Graves, the tackle. He may have been the trapper. That may have been an inside tackle trap. That's when you want to find a nice little hole in this Coliseum dirt and just kind of, let's see if we can figure it out. No, it's not a trap. I was incorrect, but there's 60 on the hole. It is a straight ahead blocking play by the Los Angeles Raiders. Normally you don't have plays that are blocked straight ahead, just pop through the line of scrimmage like that. It takes a trap, but
Bo Jackson trying to get the Raiders out of jail, back down in their own end. After the penalty call, the clock now shows 4:17 and running in the third quarter. Raiders continue to lead as they did at the half, 14-7. Talking about Buffalo, Trump, with that 8-1 start. That success story has really been engineered largely by a former Kansas City Chiefs scout and a former Kansas City Chiefs coach, Marv Levy, the head coach at Buffalo. But Bill Polian hasn't gotten a lot of credit yet, except by his contemporaries in the league, has engineered some magnificent player moves to put that team together.
They got some help from Indianapolis too, getting Cornelius Bennett.
Was involved. Here's a swing pass, and it's Jackson, and Bo took a kick at the football.
Give him a glove.
Soft fly ball.
That was a tough one to catch, though. I mean, I can't be too critical of Bo Jackson on that, because watch this baby sink.
Hit him in a bad place, right in the hands.
Well, Beuerlein kind of takes something off of this, and you'll see this ball kind of die as it gets to him. Catch it, Bo, catch it. That one, it was sinking, but that was sinking right into the glove.
We've praised Bo. That ball is caught in Pop Warner leagues.
That's also like a 20-yard completion.
At least when he's running in the open field. Now big down, long down, 3rd and 8 for the Raiders. Chiefs, if they hold here, will get the ball in good field position on a punt. From his end zone, a throw and a strike. The ball is taken by Tim Brown, and he's got a first down.
That is a great catch. Angelo Snipes, the linebacker, in coverage. It's a 13-yard pickup, and running full speed, Tim Brown turns 360 degrees to make the catch. Great body control. A crossing pattern by the Raiders. Brown very shallow, gains a little yards. Look at that. Oh, great athletic ability. Now got 6 catches for 82 yards.
Angelo Snipes almost had another 15 put on, making the tackle out well out of bounds. You see Tim Brown's numbers. Now has 18 catches for the year. Almost 19 yards of catches his average now, and he's averaged close to 17 yards every time he's touched the ball, either on a reception or a punt or kickoff return.
They're just beginning to find out exactly what he can do with the ball, right?
Well, the big thing is faster than people think he is.
He's also got a great deal of guts. He's not a particularly big guy. Will catch the ball over the middle, just like Marcus Allen.
At the end of last year, he was down around 175 pounds. He's up to 190 now. By the end of his senior year at Notre Dame.
Well, you need to have a little extra muscle on you the way these guys hit. Jackson.
So great about Marcus Allen. He's taken. Here's Bo Jackson in the open field, and Jackson on a 2nd and 6 play gets it all the way out to the 38-yard line. A 13-yard gain on the connection with Beuerlein.
He goes right around Kevin Porter. This is the same swing pass. This time Bo Jackson catches it. Now watch this move he puts on Porter. Doop, doop, doop. And the foot speed just carries him right around. Again, a missed tackle. Not because of bad mechanics by Porter, but Bo Jackson gets on you so quickly and is around you so quickly. I mean, he makes you look like a fool.
What could loom large for Frank Gams and his Chiefs, Trump, is that missed field goal by Lowry, that rare missed field goal, a 39-yarder. They'd just be down by 4 had that been good. They're down by 7 as it is, as the Raiders go back to the run, and the third quarter is starting to wind out. We're down to 1:55 and running in quarter number 3. The score the same as it was at the half, 14-7 Raiders.
Dino Hackett that time on the tackle. We have not called his name a lot today.
Snipes, Del Rio, Hackett, and Cofield, the backers for Kansas City.
Tim Brown has 82 yards receiving today. It's a very admirable statistic there for the Chiefs defense.
Fernandez, another great threat on the right flank now, has not made a big play today. He could any time. 2nd down and 9. Beuerlein's looking at Fernandez. Lets the ball go to Mervin Fernandez, who takes it at the 41. No sooner said, ready for the big play, and Mervin Fernandez makes one inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line.
Way to go, coach.
31-yarder.
Albert Lewis was the man in coverage, and everywhere he gets up point.
Quarterbacks less than 40% completions and less than 80 yards a game pass. Tremendous player out of San Jose State. He was the most valuable player in the Canadian Football League one year. J.C. Pearson's into the cornerback position. Beuerlein might be looking that way as Albert Lewis is out for at least one play. Junkin, the tight end, goes in motion. Pitch back. Bo Jackson. Penalty markers. And Jackson gets virtually nothing at all as Snipes came up and stuck him. Also on the tackle was Dino Hackett. Holding call. Dino Hackett, inside linebacker number 56 for Kansas City. In his third year from Appalachian State, second-round draft choice. He's been tremendous. Every year he's led the Chiefs in tackles.
Offense. Still first down.
That's again Rory Graves. That's the second holding call in this drive that Rory Graves has had. The other one was a penalty half the distance to the goal.
At Ohio State, he played on the offensive line next to Jim Lachey, who was later a #1 draft choice of San Diego. Subsequently came to the Raiders and was very much a part of the trade that brought Jay Schrader here. He went to the Redskins. Lachey. Graves, on the other hand, was a free agent. Started with Seattle and was cut by them. Quick out. Goes to Tim Brown. And Tim Brown is really popped by Albert Lewis, who was well in a hurry. I don't know if Tim Brown is after that.
It's a good idea, though. I think that's a play the Raiders can run with Tim Brown. It's called a slip screen. But what didn't happen is there's supposed to be an offensive lineman out there to make that first block on the cornerback. And Brown gets a picture-perfect tackle laid on him by Albert Lewis. His leg is obviously well. And Tim Brown all right, too.
Raiders, a big advantage throwing the ball. Now they'll need to put it deep, at least in the next 2 downs, as they have second down and 14 coming up. Beuerlein looks deep. Over the middle he goes and makes a connection, and the ball is completed down to the 28-yard line. It's going to be short of a first down, but Tim Brown gets good yardage and a lot of grass. It's one of the best playing fields in football here at the Coliseum.
Kevin Ross gave him a forearm shot to the helmet. This is a crossing pattern. The third period will expire as Tim Brown is slow getting up. Watch when he catches this ball. This is one play the Raiders have used a lot today. Now watch Kevin Ross's right arm. Boom. Right across the helmet. You think his ears aren't ringing? Yellow. Did you call me? Brown by the deep pass.
Doubling up Carlos Carson, who is a sensational player. They're down and 7. The Raiders go to the run, and Marcus Allen is hauled down by Stensrud. Gave him about 4. Now let's go to NFL Live. Thank you, Gail. A critical development in the so far very successful season of the Chicago Bears. If they don't get them, if you don't get Jim McMahon back, Stensrud is now down for KC, the big defensive end. He made the tackle.
He's a nose tackle playing defensive end because of all the injuries. And I don't know that you can say he's not hurt, because Bill Moss last week got up, walked off the field, ended up having arthroscopic surgery on his knee. Stensrud looks at least ambulatory. This is, you've seen Kansas City run this play a couple of times. Marcus Allen with the ball. I couldn't see what happened to Stensrud there. Big heavy-legged guy like that. Chris Barr in for a field goal.
Barr, as we mentioned, has been having problems this year. This will be a 42-yarder. Snap and set down are good. The kick is on the way, and it appears to be good. It's through the upright. And so the Raiders extend their lead now to 17-7. And Kansas City is going to have to start firing when they get the ball back.
By Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By BMW.
Now the kickoff downfield. It is taken, whether wisely or not, by Kenny Gamble, a rookie from Colgate. He gets it back close to the 20-yard line. Ron Fellows came down to make the play. Gamble, a top prospect, set records in Division I AA.
And 15 in their first scoring drive. 37 plays is not enough to win any football game.
Surely 44 yards passing isn't. Here's a throw downfield, and DeBerg, standing on the sidelines, has to be wondering as Kenny misses again. DeBerg passed very well against the LA Raiders in that first meeting, completed 16 of 30.
And that's the first thing. You've been mentioning Carlos Carson's name on the field. When Carson looks back, he'll be looking right straight into the sun over the edge of the Coliseum.
Well, he's a two-time Pro Bowl player, Carlos Carson. 3 times he's had over 1,000 yards receiving, including last season.
Blitz.
Running with the ball in the open field is Herman Hurd, who breaks another one, and he is out across the 40. A 21-yard gain on 2nd down and 10. Ron Fellows made the tackle as Herman Hurd has almost broken at the distance twice.
Don, that's the longest run from scrimmage the Kansas City Chiefs have had in 1988. Paul Palmer had one of 18 yards. And the Raiders came with a blitz. And Hurd got through that first line of defense. Saving tackle by Ron Fellows.
So the Chiefs get it out to their 40, but they need big plays. They're down 17-7 with 13:40 to play in the game. Long count on 1st down. Quick out. Carson gets the ball, and he's quickly knocked out of bounds. A gain of about 3 yards on the play as Eddie Anderson was keying on him all the way. They've doubled Carson all day.
Well, he finally makes a catch. So his day is not a complete loss.
He's made a lot for the Chiefs. He has 327 career now for Kansas City.
This is an audible by Bill Kenny. Just a little hitch or a quick out run by Carlos Carson. Fellows there. Misses the first tackle, and then Carson steps out of bounds, but it's only a 3-yard pickup.
Chiefs offense, Trump, as you know, primarily a short pattern passing game. They don't go for the deep ball, but they're going to have to pretty soon. The Raiders have been shutting it off with the bump and run man coverage. Here's a pump fake and a throw to the outback. Herman Hurd takes it and loses yards going out of bounds.
Nice design play, executed very poorly. They had two receivers. They had 2 receivers on the outside. That's what I was thinking.
3rd down and 7 now. It comes up for Kansas City. Raiders showing blitz. Casey Turan in the game, number 30. He's been out 3 weeks with an injury. He's a blitzer. He backed off, throwing an incomplete ball at the 40-yard line. Carlos Carson had a hand on it. Seemed to be open for a moment. What looked to be a good throw, no connection, no. And so Kansas City does not make it work on 3rd down and must punt the ball to the Raiders.
We were led to believe that prior to this game, Frank Gans might go to Steve DeBerg. The offensive line has given Bill Kenny ample time to throw the football.
Montana, San Francisco, 3 years. With Elway at Denver for 3 years. With Steve Young and then Testaverde for 4 years at Tampa Bay. Now he finds himself alternating here in Kansas City, or with Kansas City, as Tim Brown runs the punt back to the 24-yard line. 47-yard punt and a 14-yard return. So with 13 minutes to play in the game, the Raiders send their offense back out, looking, I'm sure, to run the ball on the clock. Plays an offense, but they can't make them when they don't have the ball. Raiders have it right now. They got to get it back in a hurry.
I think the Raiders are pretty comfortable with their situation too, with both Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen in the game. They can run the ball almost at will. Kansas City has done a decent job defensively against this offense today, but not enough to really keep them in the game. They've given up just enough of the big plays to really hurt themselves.
Erline with an eye set in the backfield. What a backfield. Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson. They go straight ahead on the dive carry by Marcus Allen. The carries to the 27. Gain of about 2 or 3. Middle of the Chief defense on the stop. Minnesota now comes back to lead the 49ers 21-17. Seattle holding to a 3-point lead over San Diego, and the Giants still up by 3 on the Lions. Attendance announced today here at the Coliseum, 36,103.
That means more empty than filled.
Like about 56,000 more empty. Berline on 2nd and 8. Makes the connection. Well done to Mervin Fernandez, who's still running as he gets to midfield. So Fernandez gets another big connection, a 23-yard gain, and Berline, who had started the first 3 games this year for the Raiders and went to the bench when Schrader came in the trade, gets his job back and looks good.
Kevin Ross, the man in coverage. Berline looking right into the sun. Fernandez with extraordinary speed. You've got to respect that speed. And I think what happened, Ross gave him just a little too much cushion. Berline's been on the money. When you see those receivers turning around and right out of the break, the ball is there, you know the offense is working. That's happened quite a bit for Berline today.
Pitch back, Marcus Allen. And the former Trojan great from Southern California, now in his 7th year, gets a hit for a gain of about 3 yards. This telecast is presented by authority of the National. All rights are reserved.
We now have a double disclaimer. We're telling you twice.
That's right.
You can't just show this anywhere.
On 2nd and 8, Berline is well protected, lets a fly ball go downfield. Fernandez is covered perfectly by Kevin Ross, running stride for stride with him. Walking the dog, as the DBs call it, staying stride for stride with the receiver.
Berline 15 of 24, 212 yards, by far his best performance of the '88 season. A good completion percentage, over 50%, which is nice because coming into this game, neither quarterback had completed 50% of their passes. Schrader 41 and Berline 47. 3rd downs also been well converted by the Raiders, which is important when you're trying to run with the little dink and dunk offense that the Raiders now use.
Throw in the catch, and what a catch by James Lofton, who goes high in the air inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 17 yards on the play. And right now, Berline and the Raider receivers are taking apart one of the best pass defenses in the league.
Well, this one, Berline ought to go to the sideline and really pat James Lofton on the back. That is a wonderful catch. Deron Cherry finally makes the tackle, but he went up to get that one.
Berline's having some day now. 16 of 25 for 228 yards. That's more passing yardage than the Chiefs have allowed to their previous 3 opponents combined. 17-7 is the count. Raiders lead. They go to Marcus Allen with 10:28 to play. Berline helped Tim Brown make a lot of money. There was some pro scouts who were a bit down on Brown towards the end of the year and was projected he might not go till the bottom of the 1st round. Maybe DeBerg's coming in. Brown refused to work out at the scouting combine in Indianapolis, said, I'm not going to work out with quarterbacks I don't know. And Berline, a good friend of his, flew in from Los Angeles. They videotaped the workout. It was extraordinary. They say that Berline would have gone in the 1st or 2nd round if he hadn't already been drafted. Brown subsequently went in the 1st round very high and got a $2.8 million contract for the first 4 years.
And Berline, did he get that kind of money?
He was already signed as a 4th round draft choice.
Will he ever get that kind of money?
I'll tell you one thing, the Raiders pay good if you deliver.
They don't play that good.
They don't, eh? Jim Plunkett was making $1 million a year when he was 39 years old.
Well, yeah, but Steve Berline's got a long way to go before he's in the same caliber as Jim Plunkett. I mean, the basis is there. Yes. It's going to take a while.
Oh, yeah, I would think.
Howie Long just signed a new contract with the Los Angeles Raiders.
$1.3 million a year.
An extension of his contract for 7 years. Yeah, I'll take care of you. There's no question about that. But you got to prove that you can do it on a consistent basis, and then you get the big money.
Throwing the catch. This one completed to Marcus Allen, who's inside the 20-yard line. Greg Hill was the man who made the play, but it was downfield 12 yards. 1st down Raiders as they drive on, holding to a 17-7 lead.
And one of the neat things I think about this Mike Shanahan offense that the Raiders now use is coming into this ball game, 13 different receivers had caught passes. Now, part of that, granted, is because of injury, but he likes the quarterback to look around the field as opposed to just going to one receiver down the field. Trying to find other people on other parts of the field puts more pressure on the defense, and that is, I think, going to be a real earmark of this Shanahan offense.
Spread out. A little too much on it. Had some heat on that ball as he was looking at a tight end, Andy Parker. I tell you, these Raider tight ends, when Christensen's in there, catch a load of balls. The Christensen does. They don't get a lot of work when he's not around the tight end position.
In my opinion of Todd Christensen, he's almost a wide receiver. He doesn't really play the position of tight end as it's defined by most teams you find in the NFL. And I think Todd would admit that to you.
He's flexed most. He's out.
Yes, and he runs deep patterns. He is he's a wide receiver that's aligned very tight. He's not big. He weighs like 225. He doesn't do a lot of blocking. That's Carl Mock, the offensive line coach of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Pitch back to Bo. Taking on tacklers. Jackson on 2nd down and 10 is close to the 15-yard line. He got 4.
Oh, what did I just see? Did you just see him get up? I hope we got a replay of that. Wait a minute, it is the 4th quarter. Did you just see him flop up there?
I was looking away. What did he do?
Well, watch the end of this play. Watch the way Bo Jackson gets up off the ground, or I'm dreaming. If we got this replay until the very end of the play, hold it, keep it, wait till he gets down. I'm not sure we're going to see it, but he just righted himself from his back, just jumped right up off the ground to his feet.
Why not? Doesn't everyone?
No.
Into the end zone. Woo. We're looking at Lofton. Well, I tell you, those Chief corners, they're awful close to picking them off a lot of plays.
That was a dangerous pass. I mean, this has been a long, sustained, very productive drive. And when you throw the out and up, you got to get it there in a hurry. Detroit and Giants scored at 10 apiece. Are we talking about the Detroit Lions here, or the Detroit Tigers? What? Fill me in.
That's the Lions. I don't think Gall is happy camp at the Giant organization since the strike of last year. That Super Bowl good fellowship took off like a big bird. 32-yard field goal attempt coming up by Chris Bauer.
Oh, he
did not get there.
Hit horribly. Jeff Gossett is the holder. Boy, that looked awful. Chris Bauer can do nothing but just laugh.
You can do that when you're up by 10 with 7:22 to play. Chiefs get the ball back in a moment.
But it looks like it's put down in a divot. It also looks like Chris Bauer hits it right in the belly. And his reaction, some days and some years you wish you had another profession.
Right now, forced to start firing the ball. Steve DeBerg comes in and lets it go to Christian Okoye. The Chiefs do change quarterbacks. That was DeBerg in the game, and the penalty marker's down.
There's a great start. I think this is going to be against the Raiders for hitting the quarterback. DeBerg was 16 of 30 against the Raiders. And that's a shot to the head by 52 Lyndon King.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 52 defense, 1st down.
They take the completion, add the 15 yards on top of it. No question about that call. You cannot hit a player in the head. Lyndon King coming on the blitz. DeBerg is almost guaranteed that Troy Aikman will be the draft choice of the Kansas City Chiefs, right, when he showed up at Kansas City.
Aikman is the #1 projection of the pro scouts to go first in the draft. The UCLA quarterback. Here's a throw downfield. Incomplete. I heard one scout say he rates him over anybody coming out of the '83 draft, over the rating they had then. A scout for a very major team.
That includes Dan Marino.
All of them.
That includes Ken
Elway.
O'Brien. Elway.
He said he's the best quarterback prospect he's seen.
You better not mention who that scout works for. He may be looking for a job. I don't believe that. I think
that's this guy's job, and he's been following him all season.
If Kansas City drafts Troy Aikman, he's going to get killed. They need to fix their offensive line. If they played every week like they played today, they would not be 1-6-1. They block well on the run, and the quarterbacks have had decent time to throw the ball.
The Raiders coming with an all-out rush now. They know they have to throw. Here is an out pattern, and it's out to the 45-yard line. Jerry Robinson made the play. The intended receiver was Paul Palmer, as the game clock now is down to 7:05 to go. Raiders 17, the Chiefs 7.
Kansas City, if they've had one real problem today, it's that they've still not been able to throw that ball down the field. At one time we had a stat that their longest reception was 17 yards, and I think they only have one reception of 17 yards. All the rest are less than 11 yards long. You got to get the ball down the field.
Throw and a catch out to the 49-yard line. Good for a first down. So DeBerg, who moved the ball very well throwing against the Raiders in the first meeting, does it again. First meeting, the Chiefs turned the ball over at critical times in that game, and they also had a 95-yard touchdown return call back on a penalty.
Now the thing you got to like about DeBerg is he stands in there. He knows he's going to get hammered, and he stands in there. Lionel Washington is the closest man. Emil Harry makes the catch, but DeBerg has always been very, very strong standing in that pocket.
And off straight ahead run on a first down, carries inside the 50 down to the 48-yard line. Kenny just had problems generating offense on a consistent basis. Chiefs were in the game in the first half because they ran it so well.
Jerry Robinson with a necktie there for Paul Palmer.
The first carry of the second half for Palmer is Bill Kenny. You see his numbers, just 47 yards and only one completion over 10 yards. DeBerg hitting wide open people. He finds an open tight end who's not caught a ball all day, and Jonathan Hayes is ahead for a first down as the Chiefs quickly go into alignment without a huddle. A 14-yard gain on the play.
I don't think Kansas City's doing anything different now. I think DeBerg is standing in there a little longer and looking downfield a little farther.
To the run they go. Not much there. You got to keep the pass rush honest, I guess, Trump. Run at him sometime.
Well, you're hoping that the pass rush runs around blockers to get to the quarterback. That creates the seam in the defensive line, and Paul Palmer can pop up through there. We got another injury now for the Raiders. Looks like Matt Millen. It is Matt Millen, 55. Yeah, sometimes you try that.
He's not down long.
Yeah, some things whipping around there. You can get hit in the calf or a big bruise.
Still time for the Chiefs to get back in this. 5:22 to play. They're down 17-7. Here's a throw and a catch at the 26-yard line. On a second down and 6 play, they got about 5. It might be a first down. Let's see where they mark the ball.
Stephon Page. If DeBerg could have gotten that ball while he was standing, he's going to pick up another 8 or 10 yards.
One of the interesting aspects of the passing game of Kansas City since DeBerg has come in, Trump, he's hitting people who hadn't been getting the ball. Jonathan Hayes got one. Now Stephon Page does.
Well, one of the problems some quarterbacks have is they get locked into a receiver, or they get a little bit timid about the rush. And it's not a criticism of some quarterbacks, but you throw it just before that deep receiver comes open. 3rd and inches.
Up the middle for a first down goes Jim Saxon, who's played very well today, the first-year player. And he is down inside the 25-yard line where the veteran linebacker Rod Martin made the stop.
Kansas City basically in a hurry-up offense now, treating this in the last 4 or 5 minutes of this game like it's the last 2 minutes of the game, running their offense from the line of scrimmage.
Carlos Carson is wide to the right. Raiders have a double team on him, backing away off him as DeBerg looks at him, now throws it short as there was coverage on Carson, and he goes again to the tight end, incomplete, Jonathan Hayes.
Mike Wise had a hold of his leg, and DeBerg was still looking downfield to throw the football. Grasp and control of that defensive lineman, therefore the pass is allowed. It's incomplete, but it's allowed.
And from the shotgun, the Chiefs go 2nd and 10. DeBerg takes a look, quick out. He has an open man, but the ball comes in high, and Stephon Page can't get up to it. Very nearly a big connection, instead an incomplete pass, and that brings up 3rd down.
That's a tough catch.
DeBerg, a 12-year veteran from San Jose State, came in hitting 54% of his throws. Threw for 10 touchdowns. He gets a free play here. The Raiders jumped. Markers down all over. Here's a pass to the end zone. It's split from the receiver at the goal line. Looked like Carson going up for the ball. No, that's Emil Harry, who almost had it.
He had a defensive lineman jump off sides. So you're right, Don. Kansas City had a free play. Do anything with it.
Whoa, a stick and a sack. Mike Wise Big defensive end from Cal Davis.
Now see, that has plagued Kansas City all season long. They have a nice drive. It starts at their own 20. They do a good job of getting it down there. And then the second sack of the day against Kansas City. And it comes from the blind side. Frankly, DeBerg does a great job of hanging on to this ball. I think the guy he beat was Byron Ingram, number 60.
45-yard field goal coming up. If Lowry hits it, the Chiefs would trail by 7. Game clock running, 3:15 to play. Ball is on the way. And it's good.
Just
Another coat of paint on the upright. Might have had a carom shot off, but Lowry does indeed hit it, a 45-yarder. And so the Chiefs move to within 7. They have to get the ball back with 3:13 left to play in the game. The Raiders holding to a 17-10.
Managing general partner of the Los Angeles Raiders.
That's one of the Raider Hall of Famers to our right, to Al's left, Jim Otto.
You can see that Super Bowl ring.
Vikings still lead the 49ers in the fourth quarter. Seattle now a 10-point lead again over San Diego. Giants and Lions still 10-10 in the fourth quarter at Pontiac, Michigan. It's 17-10 here at Los Angeles, where Nick Lowry just gave the Chiefs their first field goal of the day.
Geez, I wonder if Nick Lowry just gave something away. Did you see him? We just showed a picture of him. He kind of snuck a peek across the line of scrimmage. I think he was looking to find out if they were going with a hands team or not. Let's see. No, he kicks it away.
Not very well.
Well, that's the last thing you want to do, because now the Raiders get it at their 35-yard line.
Exactly. A good rule change. We could waste a lot of time going back and forth with 5-yard penalties in the past after a kickoff went out of bounds.
Yeah, that's not what they wanted. I don't know that he could have done anything worse.
What Beuerlein has to do here is keep the chains moving, keep the clock running, and what the Chiefs have to do is force 3 downs and out on the Raider offense and get a punt back. 3:08 to play in the game.
Marcus Allen out of the ball game. I believe Steve Smith is in at fullback along with Bo Jackson. Who do you think will get it here, Don?
Bo. Jackson turns the corner, works to stay in bounds, but he goes out of bounds and stops the clock. Chiefs helping him out of bounds. That leaves the clock showing 3:02 left to play in the game.
I think one of the things you can count on the Raiders doing with Bo Jackson is trying to run to the wide side of the field. Now here the ball is placed in the middle, and Bo should have stayed in bounds here, because it's going to make the Chiefs either come up with a timeout to stop the clock, or it's going to run another 35 seconds or 40 seconds off the clock. Chiefs have 3 timeouts left, so Raiders do have to keep this ball in bounds.
Another pitch back to Bo Jackson, who takes on the tacklers and gets to the 41-yard line. So now 3rd down comes up, and a timeout is signaled for and allotted to the Kansas City Chiefs. That's their first of the second half. They have 2 remaining as Dino Hackett is slow to get up. This guy is a true warrior. The coach after the season, it's invariably back to square one when you make a change, and these players still rally around Gans. These disappointing close losses, they literally could come in here as a division leader if they had any breaks at all this year.
This looks like a draw up the middle, not a passing play.
3rd and 4. Well, it's a throw up the middle, and it's good for a first down, and that is of critical importance in this game, as the Raiders now will have 4 new downs, and the game clock will wind down to the 2-minute warning before the next play.
Yeah, from that formation, they had to run the draw several times. Allen just snuck out of the backfield, was wide open for the completion, and Kansas City takes another timeout so that they can stop the clock again at the 2-minute warning. Nice completion. Look, zone right in between Hill and Cherry. 10,000 yards from scrimmage. Congratulations, Marcus Allen. Certainly has the right number. 32s do well in the NFL, don't they? 4. But 32s have done very well in sports. Marcus Allen is certainly no exception.
First down and 10 comes up. Raiders go back to the run, and a deep move by Marcus Allen on a first down carry gets to the 48-yard line. Kansas City calls their last time out with 2:07 left. They'll stop the clock again with 2 minutes left.
You have to call.
Explain that strategy.
Well, you have to call timeouts with your defense, because that's the only. Your offense can't call timeouts if they can stop the clock by. Basically gets 4 timeouts, and they don't care how many yards they give up now. Right now, I take that back. They do want to keep them from getting the first down, but they want to use all. They want to stop the clock anytime they possibly can. So if they hold them to no yards here, take the 2-minute clock will stop it. They're going to have time left to at least run some offense at the end of this game. Now the 2-minute clock will stop play again, and it brings up third down and about 2 or 3.
We'll be back to the Los Angeles Coliseum for the final 2 minutes in a moment.
City has 1 timeout left. If they can stop them on this third down and short, they can stop the clock again. And then the Raiders on 4th down and whatever. And Kansas City's played this very well. They basically gotten the clock stopped 5 times inside of 3 minutes.
Third down and about 2. Chiefs have to get it back. Raiders looking to get 4 new downs, which would just about cook the KC Chiefs, and Marcus Allen breaks it for a first down.
That's it.
That'll put the lid on. Kansas City on the clock still has the 1 first down left.
Timeout left.
One
now, see, I've confused you.
Yeah. Coach Gans wants him to call it. 17-10 count on the board. Raiders holding to a 7-point lead. The Chiefs have just used their last timeout. Berline bends the knee, and now it's down to 1:30 and running. As we check now, Mr. Trumpy, the report card, your grades.
Well, Bill Kinney could not get the ball down the field. See, just 47 yards. It was pretty much the Paul Palmer show in the first half. Dino Hacker with 11 tackles. Kansas City ran the ball very well today. Could not throw the ball down the field. And for the Raiders, Steve Berline's been sensational today. And the Heisman Trophy winners counted for over 200 yards of offense between the 3 of them. Brown and Lofton, 13 catches between them.
Berline with the knee down again. Our thanks to our spotters, Ron Lux and Chuck Panama, to NBC statistician Dennis Mnuchin. As right now, it's time for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser, and today's MVP is Steve Berline, quarterback for the Los Angeles Raiders. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's games. Our producer today has been Terry Ewert, our director Bob Levy. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weitzman. The coordinating producer of NFL Football, Ted Nathanson. Our associate director, Ray Benassi. San Diego Chargers are the next opponent of the Los Angeles Raiders, while the Kansas City Chiefs will go to Denver. So Mike Shanahan and his Raiders go off the field, led by their young quarterback, with a victory today, their second of the season over Kansas City. A 17-10 victory for the Raiders, as they'll stay 1 game behind Seattle and perhaps Denver. Denver goes tomorrow to Indianapolis. Seattle is beating San Diego right now. Berline with his biggest passing day, and Coach Gans and the Chiefs lead the field now with a 1-7-1 record. For Bob Trumpy, this is Don Crickey. We'll be back to the Los Angeles Coliseum in a moment.